This week, the Kentucky Department of Education released its annual Assessment and Accountability Report Card for the 2023-2024 school year. We could spend hours breaking down the data, and if you want a closer look, you can check out many of the charts and graphs you see right now on our website. The reason I say that is because it is tough to accurately capture what the big picture in these results is. Here you see some of the positive takeaways in reading and math. The commissioner himself noted that you have areas that have increased, areas that decreased, like you see there in science, and some that plateaued. The color-coded rankings of schools still put the majority in the middle yellow category. Now, you can find bright spots if you look for them, and also find some concerns, especially in those science scores, as I noted. And given we're here to talk politics, here's what the commissioner said when I asked how these scores may affect some political arguments we may be hearing this month around Amendment 2.
I hope that people look at the positives and they look at the things that, these are things that we need to, that are glowing in our districts. Whether it be maybe the math scores in a local school, whether it be a reading scores at a district. Those are the things I want them to focus on, but also too focusing on how we improve. Test scores should not be used as a weapon, in my opinion, to say this is what we need to do as far as Amendment 2.
Now, Fletcher also praised two recently passed laws that are giving schools access to higher quality professional development training in both reading and, as of this year, math. So, Representative Moser, I want to go ahead and start with you. What were some of the key takeaways that you have from that, and what do you think of the commissioner's comments?
Yeah, I mean, I think he's right. We are making small improvements, but it's not anywhere near where we would like to be. Especially when we look at that decrease in science, I really wonder what's going on. So there are some things that are concerning to me. Clearly we are taking our time looking at these data points and trying to assess the situation. I know that we have put some things in place legislatively in the last few years, so perhaps that's why we're moving in the right direction. I'm not sure. A lot of times we don't give things enough time to work. And so I think that as some of these reading programs and math programs that we've implemented take effect or go, become a really robust part of the students' curriculum, hopefully that's going to make a difference. I do think that we know that parents are the first best teacher of their children, and we know that parental engagement really makes a huge difference in student outcomes. So hopefully we can find a way to get parents more engaged and more involved, and certainly I'm hearing that from parents that they would like to be more involved.
Senator Webb, your takeaways.
Well, I was focused on my district, and because there's volumes of data, and I think the trends are a little disturbing in science, especially with the emphasis that we've given STEM for the last few years. The focus has been put on that. So I too want to delve deeper into that. But reading is key. Reading is the fundamental for understanding, and I'm encouraged to see that. And like in my district, I've got some bright spots and then other things that are flat, and I'm kind of shocked by it with a couple of the districts because they appear to be doing very well. And I think we're still feeling the impacts of COVID, and nobody's going to use that forever, but I think that has certainly been a factor in the status quo. And then you look at, I think, some other issues that were cited was teachers, teacher shortages, the inability, to maintain your workforce there, and then absenteeism. I'm on a work group now, whether it's the workforce or education, you've got absenteeism, and once again, you've got the COVID issues, you've got the economy, you've got parental challenges, you've got foster care, grandparents raising children. There's just a lot of social impacts that go into that. So the test score is not always indicative of the district as a whole, but I think it's certainly something that we will be watching. And
I forgot to mention there that statewide, the rate of absenteeism, chronic absenteeism, was sitting right around 30%, hardly unchanged from where it was last year. In some districts, the commissioner said it could get as high as 60%. I know we passed a new bill around truancy this past year. Is there more that you think the General Assembly could do in that particular area, or making teaching of just a more attractive career?
Well, we have also put some programs in place that will hopefully retain the teachers that we have, attract new teachers. We have the scholarship program for the stipend for new student teachers. So we have done quite a few things to try to retain
And there was an
and
interstate
attract.
mobility compact, I
That's
think,
right.
too, as well.
Yeah. So you know, I think we're looking at all of the above, and you know, we'll break this down and really see if we can get to the bottom of some of these test scores. But as Senator Webb said, it's not always all about the test scores. I mean, we do have a lot of social issues that affect our students' outcomes and educational attainment.
All right, we're going to have to leave it right there, but we still have much more ahead this morning. We're going to be discussing Domestic Violence Awareness Month right after this and what Kentucky lawmakers can do about it. We'll be right back.